Yeah, man.
one of these days, I'm gonna finish a review without calling out racism in the film. I swear. One of these days,
I
I
don't
will.
think so. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to part 2 of our Western review here on Mostly Wrong Opinions. I am Tyrone. That's Devin. So let's get right into the movie right now. This is the movie review for Hostiles.
You believe in the Lord, Joseph?
Yes, I do. But he's been blind to what's going on out here for a long time.
So this movie came out in 2017. It was directed by Scott Cooper, and hey, we reviewed a Scott Cooper film that was written and directed by him called Antlers, and it has some similarities when it comes to story beats and stuff like that. But I can say, just like Antlers, this movie was filmed beautifully.
Yeah, you know? it's got a cool look. Again, just like Antlers, I thought was really stylish, and this one also has like a very like. It's not quite as stylish as The Harder They Fall. Like it's not like
oh no,
it's a lot more grounded. But like the cinematography here is like, again, top notch. Scott Cooper knows how to compose an image.
Exactly, and it seems like with Scott Cooper, he uses some of the same actors that he has in his movies a lot. Christian Bale being one of them, but for sure, Jesse Plums.
Yeah, Plemons.
Plums.
Yeah. And actually, Jesse Plemons is going to be in another Western film that's coming out pretty soon. I think next month. I forgot what it's called. I just saw a commercial for it like an hour ago.
Is it directed by Scott Cooper?
I don't know.
Because Jesse Plemons is in this movie alongside. Rosamund Pike, Wes Studi, Timothy Chalamet, and the wonderful Jonathan Majors is in this movie also. The whole thing about this film is one is based off of a book, and Scott Cooper wrote the screenplay for it.
Just like with Antlers.
Just like Antlers. And Christian Bale plays a army military captain, and he is set with this task to take this old Indian chief back to his homeland because he's dying and he wants to go back home. And the president, he gave a pardon for him, another pardon, to be able to be released from jail and sent back there and escorted back to Montana.
But before you continue, the drama is he's not just any old captain. He's an incredibly bigoted captain, right?
Absolutely.
Bigoted in particular against Native Americans. Mm-hmm. And it seems like he might have a personal grudge against this particular Native American. And he's got to protect him while he takes him to Montana on the president's orders.
Yeah, he hates this situation. Jonathan Majors is in this film, as he was in our previous video. But he is a footnote in this film, okay?
Right. I want to explain myself here. So I suggested this film because it had Jonathan Majors in it, just like The Harder They Fall, right? So I'm like, oh, look, okay, got a little similarities going on. That's why we're doing part 1, part 2. And it also is directed by Scott Cooper, who did Antlers, which is a movie that I know you hated, but I kind of defended. I was a little more towards it than you were. So I was like, let me show you maybe what Scott Cooper can do. You know what I mean? And I gotta be honest with you, I didn't really like this movie, and so I'm kind of embarrassed about it. But and I was also kind of wondering, I was like, how come I never heard of this film? Like this film is like star-studded. Like everybody's in here. There are current Oscar winners, future Oscar winners. It's like everybody's in here. Like you said, Timothy Chalamet's in here, Jonathan Majors
Ben Foster's in here.
Yeah, everybody's in this thing. I'm like,
man.
I was like, how'd this movie go like right over my head? And then I watch it and I'm like, oh. And I understood.
Jonathan Major plays Corporal Henry, and he's basically he is there for Captain Joseph, played by Christian Bale. He has his back no matter what, because this is a time that's after the Civil War, and it's like there ain't too many jobs in the military or jobs period is there for black people at this time. Okay, right. So he's like I never done bad by you, sir. I've been by your side.
Tyrone, I gotta be honest, I hated that shit.
I know you hated it. You hated it. I know.
I hated it.
I know.
Had a little magical Negro-itis going on.
Yeah,
He's
there
like,
it is.
I've been by your side the whole time. And he's like, they're like holding hands the whole time.
Yeah, he was like,
I've never met a finer soldier than you. And tears come. I'm like, oh my God. And so I'm like, maybe they'll explain why. Because you're doing the thing I was doing. In my head, I kind of created my own little headcanon for this guy. I'm like, okay, so it's post-Civil War, and maybe he's joined up with the Union Army. It's his only job he can find. None of that shit's in the movie, dog. Nope. He's just there being the main character's best friend. Like, I can't stand that shit. He's got no agency. I don't know what he wants. I know virtually nothing about this guy other than he loves himself some Christian Bale.
What do you want to tell Joe Biden right now? What's up, baby? Take me out to dinner. Hey, yo.
And like, frustrating.
Yeah, and even less of a footnote on this is Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah. When he showed up, I was like, oh shit, I'm about to watch another Timothy Chalamet movie because Dune was my first Timothy Chalamet film. Yeah,
me too.
So I was like, wow, okay, I'm gonna see what this guy's got going on. And he's got like one line. He's like, hello, I'm the cook, and damn, I'm like, oh, we're done.
Gone. I was like, damn, he didn't last at all. It's like, and this movie was like 4 years ago, people.
Yeah.
4. Okay. It's not like this guy didn't. It was like 10 years ago. It was his first gig, whatever.
No,
this is 4 years ago, and Timothy Chalamet is a sought after actor now. So is Jonathan Majors, and they were gone.
I mean, Timothy Chalamet, he was barely. I can't believe he had a wardrobe. That's how fast he died. Like, I'm like, someone actually made a wardrobe for this guy because he died like that, you know? Like, wow. And maybe he was just wearing one of the extras' costumes. I don't know, but yeah, he had no bearing whatsoever on this film. He got shot, and people were just like looking at his body. They're like, "That's a shame," and that's it.
Yeah,
like,
okay. Carried his body off. Now, in this film, you have the depiction of Native Americans in a very grotesque way, and then you have depictions of Native Americans who is not like them.
Yeah, I hate that shit. I don't like it.
We not like them. We cool.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
We grow. We done some bad things in the past, but now where we at now?
You're right. We're the good Native Americans. Those over there, those are the bad ones. You know, don't get us confused with the. I hate that so. I've seen that storyline so many times with Black people, Latinos in film. And here it is happening with Native Americans. I don't like it. I don't like it.
So
something stanking. I don't like it.
Yeah, the intensified racial tension between the characters in this is very evident. It's there when it comes to Christian Bale's character, and his character starts to have a turn after Act 2 into Act 3, to where he's like, you know what? These people here, they ain't so bad. Yeah. You know,
maybe me being a racist bigot, I'm starting to suspect I was wrong. Like, I can't stand it, man. Yeah. And there's another character too, who she also had some racial issues. Her whole family was killed by Native Americans, and then I think she kind of lost her mind a little bit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
When she tags along with Christian Bale and his company, and she sees the Native Americans, it's like she sees like a bear. She's like, wow! I'm like,
no. It was more like, that's what it was. See, she backed up.
No, they ain't gonna harm you. They ain't gonna harm you. Come, look this way. Look this way. They ain't gonna harm you. What the?
And I was like, I don't know how to. I said this out loud. I said, I don't know what I'm supposed to feel. am I supposed to feel like, oh man, she's totally wrong for being like that, or am I supposed to be like, yeah, okay, I understand. What am I supposed to feel? I think the movie wanted me to nod and be like, I get it. I see why you're a racist right now in this moment. I don't like that stuff, man. I don't like it. That's just, to me, it stinks of like lazy writing, dude. You're assuming that I'm with you, and I'm not. I don't co-sign on that. And the movie had to move forward. The only way the movie moves forward with any logic is if I agree with her reaction, and I didn't.
No.
Yeah, I'm like, what? But then it's all okay because a Native American gave her a dress. So, yeah.
Yep. And she calmed down. They got to the city, the first city in Montana. She got the clothes on. She's like, I'd rather, because they were gonna drop her ass off there and just send her ass home. And then she was like, I'd rather feel safer around you. And then she would go talk to the Native American girl, and she's like, okay. And they started talking. And it was like, oh, pretty, and stuff like that. It was like, okay. And and then even then, like, we got another cliche there too with the hysterical woman, right? She spent the whole movie like hysterical and half crazy and like kind of unpredictable, and she was like hugging on dead bodies, and like all the men were like trying to calm her down. And I just the stereotypes are rampant in this film, and they just kind of gloss over them like it's just like a fact, you know? They were all like, man, no one's gonna hurt you. Just come here and get on the horse. Let me help you down from the horse. Right. Man. I was like, these dudes are straight gentlemen, but they will just massacre everyone else.
Yeah, that's a good point. While they're helping her up and down off the horse, and she's like, there's literally some Native American people in the background in chains. You know what I mean? They're literally chained up in the background. I'm like, we are not self-aware right now. What's happening on screen? I'm
just gonna say a lot of people die in this film. Jonathan Majors didn't die, but his character might as well have. But
he exited stage left. Yeah.
But a lot of people died in this film, and it comes down to the end where you have the two white folks and one Native American child, and the Native American child is going on the trip with the white lady, and she's crying on the train. She's like, "You're a good man, and I wish you get everything that you hope." And he's like, he was gonna walk away, and he's like, I should go with them.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets on the train.
She was kind of fine though. So I better get on this train. That's kind of how it was. But let's talk about the moment just before that whole train thing, right? There's a big shootout. So the whole movie they're trying to get to Montana, and the leader of the Native American tribe, he's got cancer, he's dying, he wants to get back home to Montana so he can die on his own land, right? And spoilers, he dies on his own land. It's really sweet thing. They've got like a funeral and the whole thing, but then a group of white people, they say, hey, this is my land now, you guys weren't here, this is mine now. I don't care who claims this land, it's mine. I decided this is mine, and either you're going to get off or we're going to have a shootout. And Christian Bale, a previously bigoted person, steps forward and he's like, this is their land. And so now he's fighting for the Native Americans' land, which before, he was one of the main people stealing land from Native Americans. And there's a big old shootout where Mr. White Man defends the poor, helpless Native Americans. And they win, but all the Native Americans die. They all get killed. And they're just like standing there, They're just like, oh, I hope everything's gonna be okay. And they just get a shot. And I'm like, so he did all that fighting for the land, only for everybody to die, and then they left.
All the Native Americans died. Yeah. All his soldiers died. Yeah. Every one of them, with the exception of Jonathan Majors. But everybody died.
Right. They all died. And the last two surviving members of this film are two white leads and some random Native American child who I guess is going to get raised by our two white leads in Chicago now. I'm like, so he doesn't get to keep his culture. He doesn't get to keep his land. I didn't like that at all. Like, it felt very unsatisfactory to me. I'm like, what? If I put my mind in someone less educated. I understand why they did this, right? They wanted to show that Christian Bale has turned. Right now, he's on the good guy's side. He's defending Native Americans, but there's a million different ways you can do that, other than a shootout at the end where all Native American people die. There's a million ways you could do that. And these like white hope, white savior films, boy, this is old, man. This is old. It's an old hat. I've seen that movie a lot, and I'm gonna be blunt. This is gonna be controversial.
Let's hear it.
I got no problems with the white savior movie. I got no problems. The problem I have is how many there are. There are so many. It's like every time you see a black person or a non-white person and a white person on the film, you already know the white person is going to be the white savior. It is just so played, so old, and it just makes everyone feel. It makes the non-white people feel weak. And this was their story on their land. I don't like it. It's so frustrating.
I know, bro. I know, man. I try to go into this film just like trying to see what Scott Cooper's gonna bring, because I had faith in what the selection was gonna be.
Me too.
And I was like, it's a pretty film, but it's matched with bad writing or uneducated writing.
And that's my point. Like, there's ways to tell versions of this story, right, without you falling into these like completely obvious like racist cliches. Like there are probably a million ways to tell this story that would have been better. This isn't even based on like a true story or nothing. So they just made this shit up. Like, so there's a million ways you could do this. And I kind of like the idea, again, like I said, Antlers, I like the idea of us following maybe some kind of bigoted character or maybe on some sort of journey of self-discovery. You know, I can see things here, you know, but the execution was, I mean, there's like no effort. This was as cliched as it comes, man.
Maybe Scott Cooper has some obsession with Native American culture, but not telling it correctly, because Antlers had that same thing about the Native American monster. And it's like, it was a stink face, like,
right, yeah. Where in Antlers, the one Native American actor, one Native American character, he just tells all the exposition, and then they tell him to get his ass offset, and he does. and we just focus on the white people, right? And in this film, the Native Americans are in the background, out of focus, literally in chains. And I don't understand this. Why? You got this movie is blessed with a fantastic cast. You've got a lot of talent here. And Scott Cooper is clearly a very talented filmmaker. There's a lot we can do with this, and to see it all thrown in the dirt like that, it's frustrating.
You have to get someone else to help you. Look over your script.
Yeah. You need someone to help you, and especially for films where you're featuring or talking about a culture that's not yours. You know, it's okay that you don't know everything. That's all right. You ain't gotta know everything.
Yeah, you ain't gotta know everything.
You can ask. Did you know Native Americans probably like telling their own stories? Did you know that? And if you ask, they'll probably tell you, you know? So just ask. Just ask somebody. And they could tell they didn't. They just made this shit up and moved on. Yeah. And what we get is Hostiles, a film that I've seen a gajillion million times. And that's frustrating.
That is frustrating, people. So now we come to the decision of our epic review and score. So it's not that epic, but our review and score of this, like I said in this, is shot beautifully. It's written uneducated. You know, it's just written in a way that I'm not. It's not my favorite, but I like the scenes, the angles, the wardrobe in this, very good. The lighting in this film was great.
The actors,
the actors were great. You know, Timothy Chalamet got knocked gone. You know, great stuff in that aspect. But I'm going to give this film a 6.5.
Okay, yep, I agree with you. This was a pretty film. There's a lot of potential here, but I thought it was harsh at best, silly at worst. So I give this movie a 5. To me, I thought this was a waste of so much talent on set. Scott Cooper, he needs someone to help him write these films, dude. He needs some help. You know what I'm saying? He's got a lot of talent, but he made, at least so far that I've seen, the last 2 films I've seen, he's made the same mistake twice in a row. Like, I don't, bro, we got a pattern. Well, we're about to establish a pattern here. So this film had potential. Also, I gotta say, the beginning of this film, because of it kind of started off with kind of racist and mean-spirited with a Native American scalping some guy. The film started off really on a funny foot for me. It started off kind of mean-spirited and like angry, especially after watching The Harder They Fall, which was so much more lively. This one felt like This one really killed me. Like my mood was up here, and then it just really destroyed the mood for me. So, wasn't a big fan.
Yeah, and also they did Jesse Plemons' character wrong in this movie and in the other movie, Antlers. They made him a stupid soldier boy. I was like, Ben Foster is tied up to a tree, and he is a criminal to the government, and you untie him because you think he's going to freeze to death and stuff like that. You deserve to die.
Right. Yeah, you deserve to die. But see, like, I'm glad you said the Ben Foster thing. Like, I kind of liked the conclusion of that character, because Ben Foster's character was just like Christian Bale's character. They both killed a lot of people. They were both clearly very racist, except one person got arrested for being a racist killer, and the other person didn't, right? And they both said, hey, it could have been a flip of a coin. It could have been you tied to this tree instead of me. So, I kind of like that kind of stuff, that sometimes the bad guy gets away. I can see the potential for this film. It's here. Yep. It's here. There's stuff here. But the execution, the actual final film, it got bogged down by being mean-spirited and relying on these old racist tropes. And I can't do it, man. Can't do it.
Can't do it. Never gonna do it. Never gonna do it. No. But yeah,
one of these days, I'm gonna finish a review without calling out racism in the film. I swear. One of these days, I don't think so. One of these days. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try, man. I'm trying to put my blinders on for some of these films.
It's Gatorade. It's Gatorade. Okay?
It's frustrating.
I know it's frustrating, man, but it's gonna be like Jordan Peele when on that skit where he was sweating and you trying to.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna see another film with Jonathan Majors. He's like, I love you the whole time, Mr. White Man, and I'm gonna be sitting there, sweating, trying not to say nothing,
It's perfect, man. Don't ever lose that, because you know what I'm saying. Bring that heat, all right? Yeah, I gave this film a 6.5. Devin gave this film a 5. Watch at your own discretion. It is on Hulu right now, and that is our review for 2017's Hostiles. So, we'd like to thank you for clicking on this video, man. This is so awesome. Again, we gained 10 subscribers in the last week, which is really cool. We really appreciate it. And you know how, you can be a part of this family that's just steady growing. You can hit that subscribe button right there, okay? It's right there. It's at the bottom of this thing. You feel me? And what else is easy about hitting the subscribe button, man?
The notification bell. That's also really easy too. You hit that thing, get notifications, and every time you won't miss a single film. You won't miss a single one of my angry rants. It'll be great. It'll just make your day.
And guess what? You can comment down below. And you could be like, Devin, you're stupid, or Tyrone, you're chubby, and you can do whatever you want. And you can say whatever.
Or you could say really nice things,
Yeah. Look at you're putting a little bit too much faith in people. No, the internet is for people who are trolls, man. Come on. We love it here, though, because that means you have an opinion, and that's okay. So,
Because it's okay because
it's a free country.
And it's mostly wrong, goddamn it.
And it's mostly wrong. Wait, we haven't got to my part yet.
Okay.
But yeah, do that, and also remember, we have Hawkeye coming around the corner. We will be reacting to that. So you want to be up to date and have that notification bell locked on, okay? Because you're gonna miss it any other way, you know. So do it, all right? So, but yeah, you can also leave a thumbs up on this video or leave a thumbs down if that button is still there if YouTube didn't take it.
Maybe.
But, maybe. So, whatever it is your opinion, but just remember one thing. It is mostly wrong. See you in the next video review. Both of them.
Whatever we're doing.